So when I came to UC San Diego, I knew I wanted to get involved in research because I was interested in going to graduate school after my undergrad. But I didn't have any experience in that, so definitely wanted to get involved. But before that, I had to find a job. So I ended up working at the Birch Aquarium at Scripps, which is the aquarium associated with UCSD. And this wasn't my ideal job just because I was working in the gift shop, but it actually allowed me to talk to a lot of people who work at the aquarium, as well as go to the aquarium for free. So there's some pictures of some of the animals you might see at Birch Aquarium. But working at the aquarium was actually the first time I got experience and exposure to research, and was actually the place I got my first research opportunity. So I was working at an Easter event, and there were several Scripps scientists there who were talking about their research to the public. And one of those was a PhD student who was studying cephalopods. And so for those of you who don't know, cephalopods are animals like squids, octopuses, and cuttlefishes. And those are my favorite animals. So I definitely knew I wanted to go talk to her about what she was studying. So I reached out to her, we talked a little bit about her research, and I asked her if she needed any volunteers in the lab. And she said yes. So I ended up volunteering with her for 3 months, where we studied the effects of low oxygen on the vision of marine invertebrates. And so if you're interested in getting involved in research, my best advice is to talk to the people that are doing the research. Getting to know them, hearing about what they're doing. If you're interested, asking them if they need any help. And even if they aren't looking for volunteers at the moment, they can always help and point you into the direction of someone who is willing to take on a volunteer. So after the 3 months of working with her, I ended up transferring to the lab I'm currently in, where we study deep sea animals and deep sea food webs. And I transferred because I knew I wanted to pursue an honors thesis my senior year, and I couldn't do that in the lab I was at. So I actually got this current position by talking to my professor. So I was taking a class with her, and at the end of the quarter, I went up to her and I was like, hey, I really enjoy your research. Are you willing to take on an honors student? And she said yes, and that's where I am now. Next slide, please. So because of COVID-19 this summer, I know a lot of internships were canceled, but fortunately for me, my internship was not canceled. So this summer, I was able to participate in the Scripps Undergraduate Research Fellowship REU. So an REU is a research experience for undergrads. And these are fully funded by the National Science Foundation and is an excellent way for you to get involved in research while getting paid. So I would highly recommend these REU programs for those of you who want to do research and, get paid for the summer. There are also a lot of REU programs for all disciplines, not just for marine science. So definitely look out there for those opportunities. So this summer, I got to study cephalopods in an understudied system in the North Pacific, using a kind of novel technique by looking at the diet contents of the cephalopod predator. And this is a deep sea open ocean predator called the lancetfish. And I actually got the opportunity to present this research last week at a scientific conference, which was really cool. So on the right are some pictures of our surf cohort from the summer, definitely socially distant and a lot of meetings on Zoom. But I learned a lot about the process of research and data analysis and how do we answer the questions that we have based on the information we know. So some tips for getting a research internship. I would first recommend that you think about applying for these well before you actually do. So a lot of these RU experiences usually take juniors and seniors, but I started thinking about applying my freshman year, just because there's a lot of programs out there and you want to figure out when applications are due, when the programs are, and what's required. And also, letters of recommendation and personal statements are often required for these, so definitely talk to your professors and make those connections so you can get strong letters of recommendation. Also, talk to your professors to see if they know of any opportunities. So when I was joining my current lab, I told the professor that I was interested in applying to some of these REUs, and she mentioned that she could apply to become a mentor. So I ended up working with her this summer, and it was a really great stepping stone into my current project that I'm doing for my honors thesis.